Hello, good afternoon. I wanting to talk about a few stuff today, and yes, I know my hair has not changed. Still have some things to do, so I have some issues to talk about, and maybe this will help some people, maybe it won't. Hopefully, you're not too distracted with the TV behind me. I'll try to block it. Alrighty, so first thing, haircut. When you're choosing a haircut, you have to make sure that the haircut, having a good haircut means choosing a haircut that suits your features, right? We all know about face shape. Something that if you have a senior stylist or somebody that has training will know. You know, if you have an oblong face, or if you have a round face, if you have an oval face, if you have more square face, heart-shaped face, generally you can find a style that suits your face. But remember too, like I've had a situation where I've had somebody argue with me to tell me their face shape. What the person forgot to realize is they just lost 50 pounds. So in their head they were still one face shape. Once you lost weight, you can see your actual face shape, like, or even just being in a mirror or just holding your hand close to your face shape. You have a good sense of it, or draw a picture in the mirror with lipstick or something that's removable, and it shows your face shape, whether it's more heart shaped, whether it's more squared. You know, you can tell by your cheekbone and your chin if your face is squared, just based on how your angle, how your cheekbones are, how strong it is. Okay, so first, if you're going to get a haircut, it pays off. I mean, sometimes we do like haircuts that's not suited to our facial features, and it's good if you want to do that, but that is not the best way to go. Second thing is hair color. Now you have to decide what kind of person you are. Do you like hair color? And you know, these are things that you want to tell your stylist. Do you like hair colors that are dramatic and wild? Do you like your pinks, your reds, your bright colors? Do you like it to be as natural looking as possible? Or do you like to walk a little bit on the wild side? You know, there's always scream. Some people say, do you want your hair color to scream? Do you want it to whisper? Or do you want it to sing? Like, you choose from what you like. You know, obviously, a lot of times when we ask a lot of questions when we meet you, we're not trying to be nosy. We want to see, like, okay, with your job, if you work at, I just found out that if you work at Starbucks, you can't have dramatic colors and stuff like that. Now, what's the solution? If we find out where you work, we have a good indication of what color you want. If you're artistic and you're a photographer, we know that you could probably have pink hair and it won't matter. If you tell me you're a corporate person, you're a CEO, I obviously know that certain colors won't work, right? The third thing we're going to talk about is the condition. If you have an idea what your condition of your hair is, you have to remember that people that are trained have a different approach to that. You might think, oh, my hair is healthy, I put a color over it, it looks healthy. Don't forget, if your hair is bleached and you put a color over top of that, it is still bleach underneath. It is still, doesn't mean because it looks shiny because you put black in your hair, means it's healthy. You have to remember too, please, I say this, and I say this with no pun intended, pun intended. Once you go black, it's hard to go back. That's why people say once you go black, you never go back. But the point is, if you go dark and black with your color, don't expect, you have to be realistic, people. You can't be like, whoa, I want my hair to be blonde, just put a color. You can't use a color. The law of color says you can't, a color doesn't lift a color. So I can't put a color, a brown color on your hair. I'm sure, like I walk around every day and I see this and I can tell hundreds of people do this. You can't put a brown color over a black and make your hair brown. The minute you color your hair black, you just basically said, okay, if I need to change my hair, I need a color correction, which is very pricey. It's usually $200 and up price point, right? So you have to know that when you're coloring your hair black, you're expecting, one, to take a while to get it where you want it. You're not going to color it black and go blonde the next day without either your hair falling off. It's very, like I've done this before, it's very time consuming. Like if you're not going to pay $300 to $400 for that, and that's like somebody doing it like so gentle and baby step and doing everything they can to avoid breaking your hair. It's very hard. You have to strip that color out and say tone it with the brown or whatever color you're choosing to go. Even if you want to go only 2 shades lighter and you just want to go like a medium to dark brown, you still have to remove that color. There's no such thing as coloring over it. So I just want to educate people so they know and understand when you go into a salon, please not just do research, but know what you're asking the stylist for. Because you go in and you're like, oh, I just want a color. Why are you charging me $300? It's not $300 for the color. If it was your natural hair and we're putting on a brown and your hair doesn't have any kind of, and when we say your natural hair, please remember and check what you've done. If you say your hair is natural, we're assuming there's no kind of chemical process on it. So if you say your hair is natural and we go to put something on there that counteracts because you forget, just really think about it. Take some time. The hairdresser doesn't mind. Have a coffee. Think, did I do something? And even if you did it 2 years ago and your hair is still long, it's still there. It doesn't mean because you put color over it or it's oh, it's grown out. Well, unless you cut off that hair and only you're working with your grown out hair, it's still under there. Whether it's highlighted or you've been stripped it or you did some kind of chemical process that is permanent, it is still there. It's not gone anywhere because your hair has changed a bit. It's the process is still there, and sometimes it doesn't show. Your hair may be still curly or wavy, but whatever hair that's not new growth, it is still the process hair. So please keep that in mind and realize that in order for stylists and everyone to give you what you're looking for, we have to deal with your hair in a healthy way, right? So that's the thing about coloring. So just remember, coloring is, highlight, low light, whatever you're doing, is still, you still have to process your hair. Conditioner, if you live in somewhere dry, is a must. If you don't even color your hair, it's a must. Now, if you don't color your hair or do anything, you probably want to just stick to a moisturizer, moisturizing conditioner, which is something, generally, how you tell, it will say if it's a moisturizer or not, but how you tell, it's usually between 5 and 10 minutes you leave it on your hair. Protein conditioner, generally, in most senses, are left on the hair 10 minutes to 20 minutes, because it's building bonds, so it's like fake hair bonds. So your hair is made up of protein, so sometimes it's even broken down protein hair that's igniting in your hair. So keep that in mind. So you need to condition your hair whether you're chemically treated or not, just based on if you live in a dry place or just environmental factors. Do that once a week or once every 2 weeks if you don't do anything with your hair. But if you blow dry your hair or any sorts of heat styling, you need protein, and you also need to put moisturizing conditioner. So you need to alternate between the first. Always use the moisture last. If you're going to use both, say you want to do a 10-minute treatment, a 20-minute treatment, and when you're done, you want to put after you rinse that, you put a moisture treatment on, because protein tends to leave the hair a bit stiff, depending on what protein hair product you're using. You tend to want to put the moisture on, just kind of loosen it up so you can comb your hair and untangle it, or use like a leave-in conditioner to comb it out, because the last thing you want to do is rip through your hair after you're doing all that. Okay, styling. You need the proper tools. If you don't have the proper tools, you can't achieve what we do in the salon. If you have a blow dryer that is under 1600 watts, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to style. You need 3 main brushes, and ask the stylist, depending on what you're wanting to do, what brush you need, and they will help you. Even if they don't get it for you, they will show you what brushes you need. So make sure you have the right tools and products. Obviously, the 3 main products you need are, a leave-in conditioner, either a volume, a mousse, or light gel, glazed. And you need like a finishing product, like a spray, a shine, or a gloss, right? Depending on how you like your hair. And it's just basically take care of your hair, ask questions, meet with your stylist. And don't experiment with your hair at home and expect the stylist to fix it because you've messed it up. You have to give time That's just hair. Thank you. Signing off. Hope you learned something.